Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. Today we're going to be doing another episode of Time Capsule. This is a series that is going from 1971, and eventually I'm going to cover every single year, where I show you my favorite albums that came out in a particular year. I am up to the year 1992. Another good year. Some real good releases that you're going to see. Before I start, I want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day. I actually am celebrating Father's Day tonight. We just did. So amongst my presents, you may get a kick out of this. I just got this. A bag of 6 different Rolling Stone socks. Pretty cool. And as you know, I'm a big Stones fan. A really cool Rolling Stones luggage tag, which is pretty thick, actually. So 2 of my Father's Day presents that I just got, actually. So I wish everybody a happy Father's Day, and hope you have a good holiday weekend. All right, let's get into Time Capsule episode 13. This is my favorite albums of 1992. I don't want it to be too long. I got 102 albums that came out in 1992. That's what's in my collection. And out of those, I'm going to show about 30 quickly. I don't want it to be too long a video. And then I will highlight the top 10 based on the amount that I played them. All right, so what was released that year that's not in the top 10? 10,000 Maniacs, Our Time in Eden, good record. They're all good records. If I didn't like them, I wouldn't have them. The Black Crowes, I thought this was a really good follow-up, their second album. The Southern Harmony and Musical Companion, really big successful album in the States. This is a terrible album, but I thought I'd show it because it's pretty cool. Blue Oyster Cult actually did a soundtrack to a movie called Bad Channels. It's a lousy album, but kind of rare. Kind of cool to see. Ongoing, Garth Brooks, The Chase. Another huge record from him. None of these are top 10 albums for me. But I'm showing them out of the 102 that I got. I thought this is probably my favorite Lindsey Buckingham solo album. This is a good one, Out of the Cradle. If you like Lindsey Buckingham, this is, I think, the best one. Eric Clapton released probably his biggest selling album of all time, Unplugged. Another strong release. A great example of how you could take an incredible song like Layla and completely redo it acoustic and be just as good. Anyway, this was a good one. I like this one. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Black Moon. They came back, and not easy what they did. You know, a modern sound from that time, the early 90s, 1992, shorter songs, and it's a good release. Let's keep going. I don't really focus on live albums when I talk about the best albums unless it's special. This was a cool one. George Harrison live in Japan with Eric Clapton and his band. So, you know, Harrison never tours, and this is an interesting collection. A good live record, you know. Harrison's not the greatest live performer in the world, obviously, but playing with Eric Clapton's band was good. Peter Himmelman, good release, Flown This Acid World. The Indigo Girls, another strong record, Rites of Passage. This was the deluxe edition remastered. Good release. Jethro Tull, another interesting live record, was A Little Light Music. This is an acoustic live Tull album. And it works good. Good release. Luna Park. If you like, influence kind of Velvet Underground-ish, New York, good band. Manic Street Preachers, their first record. And this is Generation Terrorists. Their first record. It's kind of long and one of my least favorite of theirs. I want to show this live record because this is an extraordinarily great live record. The Moody Blues. This is the deluxe edition of the A Night at Red Rocks with the Colorado Symphony Orchestra. Originally it was a single release. This is the deluxe edition. This is, if it's not the best Moody Blues album, it's way the hell up there. Great live album. Ocean Color Scene, their first album, probably their worst album, but they would get much better. Let's keep going. I don't want to hit any top 10s. Keith Richards' second solo album was Main Offender. I described this album as an album more good riffs in search of some really good songs. There's a couple of great songs on this album for sure, but overall, I find it to be a spotty album. Sade released Love Deluxe. She's a class act, and I think she's always really good. Her band, Sade. Joe Satriani, great guitarist. He released The Extremist, another fine instrumental record from Mr. Satriani. Bruce Springsteen, taking a playbook from Guns N' Roses, released not one but 2 albums that year without the E Street Band, Human Touch and Lucky Town. They're good records. If you took the best songs from both of them, they would be a great album. But a lot of good songs. Actually, 2 of my all-time favorite Springsteen songs. If I Should Fall Behind. Lucky Town's a great song as well. And on this album, I Wish I Were Blind. Amazing song. Mr. Springsteen. Television released a reformed album. Pretty good. And one more before we hit the top 10. Ronnie Wood. This is actually a good Ronnie Wood solo record. It's his last one that did really, really well on my playlist. Good artwork in there. And the reason why Ronnie did it, Bernard Fowler was the singer, so he's got a really strong vocalist on there. Really good band. I actually saw this tour. And this is a good Ronnie Wood solo record. Slide on this. Okay. That was pretty quick. Let's get in to the top 10. At number 10, Nils Lofgren and his album Crooked Line. This was a strong Nils Lofgren solo record for sure. I liked it from beginning to end, but he does a good cover on here of Just a Little. But this is a really strong Nils Lofgren album. Yep, like this one a lot. That was my number 10 most played album of 1992. Number 9, Paul Weller's first solo record, self-titled Paul Weller. Looks like that. Of course, from The Jam and then the Style Council. And this is a really cool, soulful record. Starts off with, oh yeah, I Didn't Mean to Hurt You, Bull Rush, great opening trio right there. Above the Clouds is great. Into Tomorrow rocks. This is a really good record, and he would only get better. So Paul Weller, solo record, his first one, at number 9. At number 8, Lucinda Williams, Sweet Old World. This is a really good record, as she was gearing up for her masterpiece to come after this, called Wheels. But this one opens up 6 blocks away, something about what happens when we talk. The title track, Sweet Old World, Pineola. This is a really good record. Even does a Nick Drake cover on it. Excellent, excellent, top-notch Lucinda Williams album, Sweet Old World, at number 8. Right? Yeah, number 7, Leonard Cohen, the album The Future. You know, Leonard, this was a cool record. It's a rockin' record. Largely, it's got some harder edge, electronic kind of sound. It's not really folky. And actually, some hits, in a sense, hits. A couple of these songs were used on that movie, Natural Born Killers, which was really cool watching that. The Future was on there. What else was on there? Democracy, was it? Or Waiting for a Miracle? I don't know. This album is loaded with really good songs, great textures, great soundscapes. Anthem, Democracy, Closing Time, great track. This is a really good one. Number 8, Leonard Cohen and The Future. Let's keep going. What do we got? That was number 7. Number 6. I don't want to get into the politics. He's a very divisive figure now, and he is to me as well. But back in 1992, that was not a concern, and Roger Waters put out his masterpiece solo record, Amused to Death. This is an extraordinarily great solo record. To me, it's his only really great solo record, Amused to Death. This is my number 6 favorite album of 1992. This album's a masterpiece. This album is up there with, Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, The Wall, Animals, Amused to Death. There's the best records right there, in my opinion, from Roger Waters and even Pink Floyd. This album is way up there. But if you look at the, Perfect Sense, Part 1 and 2, the ending, you know, It's a Miracle, Amused to Death, Too Much for Hope. Yeah, this is just a great, great album. They remixed it, remastered it, and remixed it, which I didn't get. Number 6, Amused to Death from Roger Waters. Politics aside. Number 5 for me is going to be this great, great album. It's so great, I got 2 different versions of it. Gene Clark and Carla Olson, So Rebellious a Lover. It's Americana-ish. It's folky-ish with, you know, a band. It's just great. This was the original version I got, and I play this album to this day. The Drift, The Gypsy Rider, Every Angel in Heaven, The Gato, The Porte. Oh, it's fantastic. They cover the Flying Burrito Brothers' I'm Your Toy, which is Hot Burrito. This is just a great album. This had some bonus tracks on it. Del Gato Live. I loved it. Then they put it out again. Different bonus tracks. And this has a bonus track called Jokers Are Wild, which is one of my favorite songs of all time by anybody. I actually met Carla once and I asked her about it. It's a demo. Gene Clark was looking for a record contract and they did that as a demo. I'm like, it's one of the greatest songs of all time. So Jokers Are Wild, you should check that song out. But this album is a masterpiece. And that's why it is my number 5 album of that year. Gene Clark, Carla Olson, So Rebellious a Lover. I got 2 copies of it. 2 different copies. There you go, David. We knew that was going to fall. Let's keep going. At number, what am I up to? Number 4? Neil Young released a great album, Harvest Moon. It was a big success. It deserved to be. I guess in a way it's a sequel to Harvest. I listen to this more than Harvest. Not that it's better. But look at those tracks. Unknown Legend, from Hank, you know, to Hendrix, You and Me, Harvest Moon, War of Man. This is just a killer record. Dreamin' Man. Great album. Neil Young at number 4 with Harvest Moon. Let's see, what are we up to? Number 3, the Jayhawks. This was a masterpiece. Hollywood Town Hall. This is a deluxe edition with bonus tracks. This album is just great. Sets a mood. The songs are melodic. They all kind of sound in the same kind of groove, but it just works so well. I mean, my God, Waiting for the Sun, Crowded in the Wings, oh, Settle Down Like Rain, Wichita, the bonus tracks. Great, great album from the Jayhawks, Hollywood Town Hall. My number 3 favorite album of the year. There's only 2 left. What's the 2 left? At number 2, I think it's their best album, R.E.M., Automatic for the People. Great album. I mean, my God. Drive, Try Not to Breathe, Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight, Everybody Hurts, Sweetness Follows, Stormy Kitten, Man on the Moon, Find the River. Ah, masterpiece from R.E.M. I think it's their strongest studio record. The number 2 album of the year for me, Automatic for the People from R.E.M. So what does that leave? The number 1 album of the year. It may surprise you guys, but it's the most played album from that year. It's an amazing album. New Miserable Experience from Gin Blossoms. I've mentioned this album in other videos, and this is the deluxe edition. I've bought this album in different versions, different occasions. This is a masterpiece from the Gin Blossoms. It's a perfect album. It really, really is. There's not a bum song on it. It flows really well. It's sequenced so well. That was the original version. You know, Lost Horizons, Hey Jealousy, Mrs. Rita, Until I Fall Away, Hold Me Down, Hands Are Tied, Found Out About You. You know these songs. Allison Road, 29, Pieces of the Night, Cheating. Yep. It's a goddamn perfect album. And that's why it was the number 1 album of the year for me back in 1992. So there you have it, folks. My top 10 of the year. Number 1 right there, the Gin Blossoms. So I hope you enjoy that. Let me know your thoughts. You know, what are your favorite albums from 1992? Remember, I own 102. I showed you 30, give or take 30, and showed you my top 10. But a lot of good stuff out there. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this series. I am going to be doing it every single year eventually. I do them in 10-year increments so it doesn't get played out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hit subscribe. Hit the bell, whatever the bell is. Help my channel to grow. Check out my other videos. And most importantly, I hope you have a great Father's Day weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. See you in the next video from the Alan Rosenberg Show.